And welcome back to our continued coverage of the TIA 2015 Network of the Future Conference. Joining us now is Chris Penrose. He's Senior Vice President of IoT Solutions at AT&T. And Chris, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
It's great to have you. I know you just came off a keynote address here at TIA 2015. First, tell me about that.
Yeah, so we were talking really about the future of IoT and really what trends do we see in the industry? How is AT&T actually working to address, and really maximize the opportunity in the space, and then really bringing it home with real use cases about how people are truly deploying these services today. I thought it was a pretty exciting talk.
Well, let's talk more about that. It's one thing to have a fully connected network, but it's another thing to unlock the potential of that network. Is that right?
Yeah, so I think what you're seeing is that you've got to put connectivity into these devices, and we think everything is better once you can connect it. But then you're able to then extract information off those endpoints to then take action against those devices and that data. And so what we're really seeing is that businesses are able to transform the way that they're actually either monitoring their assets, the way that they're actually deploying their resources, optimizing and making processes more efficient, or even unlocking new business opportunities for revenue streams by putting connectivity in and reshaping the way they're doing things. And then on the consumer side, it's really about how do you take these devices and make them work seamlessly to really make your life better and easier. So how can your wearables tie off with your car, with your home, so that those things begin to take care of you versus you taking care of the things.
Now, Chris, while you're at least the first part of your keynote address, we were up here doing a panel on smart cities. You had mentioned that in our pre-show discussion. How does IoT, regarding AT&T, how does IoT play into smart cities?
Well, we made an announcement earlier this week where AT&T, IBM, and Mueller came together to actually put a leak detection product into the market this week in 3 major cities, where we're putting sensors on the pipes to actually monitor them to see is water flow happening in the right way, and is there potentially a leak in the system. We also are doing a lot of work around connected streetlights and really working in traffic management spaces as well. And so AT&T is very aggressive in really trying to reshape the way cities are being run by bringing IoT solutions in.
Chris, what's the relationship between what you're doing at AT&T as far as the Internet of Things and gearing up for, if you will, the next generation of wireless networks, i.e. 5G?
Well, so I think what you're seeing is that there's lots of different ways that things are being connected when we talk about the Internet of Things, and some of that's going over the cellular networks, and some of it's going over other types of networks, short-range type of networks as well. 5G for us is actually very exciting from the fact that it's going to help us deal with some power consumption issues associated with what you see in cellular today. It's also going to help us drive down costs of putting that connectivity to the networks and into the end devices, because at the end of the day, the more devices we can connect up, the more that we can actually unlock the potential in that space. So I think 5G, while it's going to have some great opportunities on the high end too to provide higher throughputs and lower latencies, it also is going to be able to really address those low end devices that are just bits and bytes of data that are needing to be shared, and do that in a more efficient manner.
Now, of course, a lot going on right now with machine-to-machine connected devices, really the Internet of Things as a whole. Typically, in years past, I would ask, what's your futurist forecast for the next 2 to 3 years? But I think it's a fair question now, with the way things are moving so quickly, is to ask, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan?
Well, I think it's always a good question about where it's going. I think there's a ton of momentum around a lot of the different segments where you're seeing cars being connected, and you're seeing this transformation of transportation holistically, where you're thinking about those connected cars actually getting into autonomous driving in the future. I think that's what, and truly bending the curve on road fatalities by bringing in the ability to have constant, continuous communication and connectivity inside those vehicles. So I think you're seeing in that particular industry a big push toward, in 5 years, you're seeing a lot more of those types of services and cars deployed in the environment. I also think the other piece is that, again, how do things begin to take care of you, particularly in, let's say, healthcare. The idea that wouldn't it be nice if my doctor actually knew ahead of time that I was getting sick and reached out to me on a proactive basis because he had access to my information and was able to see that things weren't tracking in the right direction. So I think it's how do you begin to do diagnostics and predict where things are going to go for the future. That's where I think a lot of the potential is going to be as we go forward.
Chris, I know TIA was very excited to have you here, and I did have a chance to catch a part of your keynote address, and it really delivered, so we appreciate that.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Thanks for your time, Chris. And as always, for all of our TIA Now coverage here at TIA 2015 Network of the Future, please log on to tianow.org. So long.